Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your February Tarot forecast. Things are going to be picking up speed very quickly. I think that if you've been noticing some delays with responses or answers or anything that would make you feel like, you have more clarity, that it's like, I don't think that the full clarity is going to show up, but I feel like you're going to get enough information to figure out what the next step looks like. And there's also A, patience that are required. B, there is really the demand from the universe for you to drop any fearful, anxious, panicked thinking about what is outside of your control. And you need to just trust that when it's time to pump the gas and just go, you'll know when to go and you'll know where to go, but you won't always know where you're going, if that makes sense. So it's like you'll just get the invitation, or you'll have this moment of like, okay, I have to do this right now. And that's maybe the next 2-3 steps, but you don't know where you're actually going to arrive, if that makes sense. And I think that's because, First of all, there's an energy here of your guides don't want you to project onto the future any kind of limitation connected to the result, okay? So you not knowing means that you are open and available to receive whatever shows up, and you can just sort of monitor what's showing up, and you can align yourself with the things that show up that feel good and feel aligned, and the things that show up that you're like, this I don't need, I'm gonna filter that out. And like, Virgo, come on, like, you are the best at filtering, like keeping what works, keeping what's good, and letting go of all the other shit that you don't need. I feel like maybe some of you are also gonna be diving into like just cleaning up your home, cleaning up your relationships, shifting how you see things, shifting how you communicate and engage with people, because it feels like there's a better understanding of what you want, what you need, and who you are becoming. And that means that you are willing to behave in a new way, to establish new boundaries, to cut off people or quit jobs or contracts that don't work, etc. So actually, now that I think of it, you also now have the South Node in your sign. So really, this is a point of fate and destiny. This is an energy of release and just full surrender and letting go, so that you have the available space to expand on a new journey. Now, you have the Fool card here, which I love because there's definitely a new journey happening. You have the Moon card, which is also a journey, and you have the Eight of Wands, which is like taking action and going for it. But there is an energy here of like, where am I going? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to trust this process. And you need to trust this process, because all signs point to yes. All signs point to success, like especially with this Sun card, Wheel of Fortune, Four of Wands, and then your overall energy here, you have the High Priestess. Like, you are definitely venturing out into a new world. And I think that's beautiful and welcome. And you really need to pay attention to how you can work with this energy of the South Node in Virgo, okay? Oh my God, there's so much to talk about there. I have a workshop for that. You, at some point over the next year and a half, ideally sooner, because you're working with this energy. So if you understand how to work with this energy, it's going to be really helpful and beneficial for you. I'm going to tag my Nodes Shift workshop here, and it's also on my website, okay? You have to watch it, Virgo. Like, this is a major point, and I believe that the South Node has not been in Virgo for the last like 18 years or something like that. Like, this is a long process and a long cycle, so you don't work with this energy often, and this really is an opportunity for deep transformation. And I think your first card here is the Chariot reverse with the Eight of Swords, with the Four of Coins also reverse. So I really think that part of you on some level is a little bit nervous, is a little bit panicky, of course, because a Virgo, you, is connected to Mercury. And Mercury is connected to the mind and thinking about the future. Mercury is the time traveler. So Mercury can go back in the past and see things and go into the future and think about every possible result and what could happen and this and this. And it's like, that is how you, Virgo, drive yourself crazy. So don't do that. We need to drop, and this is again the South Node in Virgo. We need to drop the control. We need to drop the thinking, the panic, the trying to solve all the problems before they happen. We need to stop with the perfectionism, with beating ourselves up over choices that we made that were wrong or whatever. It's like, you need to work with this South Node energy. I'm telling you, go watch the Nodes Shift workshop. You have to, okay? Now, the other thing that's really interesting about this is that there are foundational changes happening. So how you use your money has to change. What companies you're buying from, investing in, how you spend your time, who you spend your time with. It's like your awareness of the limitation of some resources, for example, being time. Time is a very limited resource. So if you're not using your time properly, if you're not surrounding yourself with people and projects that amplify and lift and expand your life because you are investing your time and energy into them, then why the fuck are you there if they're not doing that? If they're not lifting you, if they're not expanding you, if they're not providing you with peace and love and enjoyment and more opportunities, then why are you budgeting any time or energy for them? Because your time and energy is finite. It is very limited. So I want you to really start to just review how you've been spending your time. And that's also your emotions. Who are you giving your beautiful emotional body to? Like, who are you taking care of, nourishing? Who are you supporting? Are you getting it back? And if not, then you really need to start budgeting your emotions better. You need to start budgeting the time, the energy, maybe the money better. And I don't mean better, like do better. I mean that there is a profound shift happening with how you see yourself and your commitments and contributions. And you're really going to start understanding just how much you bring to the table and how much other people benefit from you. And I think a lot of these people have not been paying attention to that. A lot of these people have not been appreciative of that. A lot of these people have maybe been taking advantage of you, expecting you to do everything. And like, we're fucking done with that. We're not going to continue doing that. We're not going to surrender our time and our energy and our money and our love and all these things for other people's benefit, and you're not getting a benefit back. Like, it's so stupid. And I think that you're just really fed up with a lot of these people. So I like this energy because yes, it looks like a shift. Yes, it looks like changes and the foundations are shifting and your emotions are changing. Again, like you have emotions, okay? Queen of Cups reverse. So the shift in the emotions. You have the Queen of Wands reverse, the shift in what you do and how you do it. You have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, okay? The money, the time, the commitments, all shifting. It's like, and you're doing that because your divine feminine energy has not been supported enough. You don't have enough people or things taking care of you. You're doing all the caretaking. You're doing all the consideration and making sure everyone's fed and good. And then you're like, oh, there's no food left for me. What the fuck? Why did I do that? So that idea needs to go. And I think that maybe you struggle letting that go a little bit because because you're really a sign that is rooted in service. So you feel like you need to serve all equally, but you don't. You don't need to serve all equally. You need to serve the people who serve you. And I'm not talking about like charity. Like, I give money to charity. I don't expect anything back from them, of course, but some relationships, some situations, some experiences, they are transactional. And not to water them down to say that like everything is transactional. That's not what I'm saying. But like, even your friendships, if you are hanging out with people and you're noticing that like you're always coaching them and you're trying to talk about something and then they hijack the conversation, it becomes only about them. And then you're like coaching them again, or they're only calling you when they have a problem. And you're just like, what the fuck am I getting from this relationship? Like, this is so crazy. Why do I stay here to support you, to be here for you? I'm listening, I'm showing up, I'm doing everything that I can. And then you don't listen to me. You're not here for me. You're not, and that can be family, friends, love, work, whatever. But this overall energy is like, we're just done with it. And I'm sorry, but that's going to be a similar theme to what you're working with for the next while, because the South Node in your sign is showing you what needs to go. And I really want you to watch that workshop. Okay, the other thing that's really important is that how you want to shift these things, it all starts in the mind. And I think that some of the struggle right now is that mentally, you're like convincing yourself that you need to do something, and emotionally and spiritually on a soul level, you know you don't want to be doing that anymore because it's exhausting. So like this Eight of Swords is that like panicking, thinking, obsessing, you're pulled in two directions. Now, what's important about this is that this Eight of Swords energy, swords, the mind, it's connected to Mercury. And we just had Mercury with Pluto. The both of them were in Aquarius. And we just had a new moon in Aquarius. So let me spell that out for you. Aquarius is connected to our belief systems, our structured ways of thinking, the stories that we tell ourselves. It is the commitments to these old ideas and perspectives that we continue to hold on to because we've always done it and that's just what we do. Okay, well, those stories are now experiencing a death and rebirth, okay? And I say that because Pluto is death and rebirth. Now, Mercury is your planet. So your planet was with Pluto, and your planet, Mercury, is also connected to the higher mind, what we perceive, how we communicate, how we process information, the stories that we tell ourselves. Are you seeing the theme here? The mental stories of Mercury, that Aquarius energy, the stories, and then we have Pluto. So there's this combination happening where there is a death and rebirth, a release of these old stories so that we can establish new belief systems, new perspectives, and new ways of processing the world around us to understand not everything is my responsibility and I'm not taking ownership for everyone and everything all the time. So how do we work with that energy? Well, we just had a new moon in Aquarius, and that new moon was right beside Mercury and right beside Pluto. Okay? So moon, Pluto, Mercury, all in Aquarius. A new moon, and this was the first new moon of 2025. So this is a very important energy to initiate your year ahead with, right? So that new moon is welcoming in what? New perspective, Mercury, right? New stories, Pluto in Aquarius. So I want you to intentionally work with this energy to create new belief systems that support your balanced exchanges and not keep you stuck in these old beliefs that make you feel like you have to give, even when you're not getting anything back. Okay, so how do you do that? You can watch the New Moon Workshop. That workshop you can pay whatever you want for. It's donation based, and it's a really easy way to support this work, especially if you're still here because this is resonating with your life right now. It's like, come on, do something with this energy. You can support me by paying $1 or whatever you think it's worth. You go and you watch that New Moon Workshop. It was the first new moon of 2025. Don't waste this energy. It's a 25-minute home video workshop. It's really easy. And whatever, we'll chat next month, okay? I love you. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Send it to a friend, and I'm giving away a free personal reading for anyone. Well, not anyone, but if you share this on your Instagram story and you tag me, you will enter a draw, and I'm going to pick someone from this draw to get a free personal reading, okay? Love you.